So last time we met with Trent and Esther, we made a game plan on buying their first 4 homes, but we've got a glitch. We actually just sat down, we went through the banking and the pre-qualification, and today we need to break some news to them. It's not bad news, it's not overcomable, but you never know how someone's gonna react. So let's do this.
'Cause we're gonna be legends. What we're doing here ain't just scary. It's about to be legendary.
Come on in, you guys. How you doing?
Good.
Esther, good to see you again. Trent, how you doing, brother?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you, brother. All right, so listen, I wanted you to come in today because today we want to talk about the next step, right?
Right.
So last time we talked about the game plan of buying how many homes?
4.
Yeah, we're going to do those 1 or 2 at a time. You guys did a great job. You submitted all of your banking information, you know, that we needed to go through pre-qualification. But we have a couple of things that came up on the credit. I don't know if you're aware of them or not. And so there's some things that need to get resolved. Okay. If we can get them resolved, then we can keep moving forward and buying properties. If not, there's going to be a glitch.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, Derek, hey, come on in, man.
Hey. Trent,
Derek.
Esther.
Do you guys remember Derek?
I do.
All right, awesome.
Thank you.
Derek's been helping collect and aggregate all that information, take it to our different lending teams, and in our partnership to buy these properties, Derek isn't just doing pre-qualification on like the next house. He's not even doing pre-qualification on the next 4. He's working with our lending team on our strategy to buy the first 10 houses because we're juggling a number of different banks. But in the process of doing that, income came back where it needs to be. But we found a couple things on the credit, like I said. Do you want to kind of share with them what you found?
Privilege I have working with you guys is trying to understand your journey. And we came back, lending came back, and you got a couple of hiccups in your credit score that can cause a little slowdown. But these are things that you can quickly take care of and resolve. So I wanted to make sure you guys were fully aware of this, but on here it looks like there's a student loan that you have in place that needs to be resolved.
What does that mean, by the way? Like, people have student loans.
Yeah, which is normal.
What needs to be resolved?
So you need to have some sort of a payment plan. A lot of people will defer student loans for a long time, and eventually they can go into collections, and then you're going to start paying a lot, interest. We need to have some sort of a plan set up to where you guys are paying that.
Are you guys aware of this?
Yeah, we're aware of this, and we're actually a step ahead of this, where I did defer it year after year after year, and it did then go into a collection. I didn't defer it 1 year, and then I didn't defer it another year. And so what we've done is we are now making payments every month, and we'll be completely out of student loan default, as they call it, starting in March.
That'd fantastic.
So that'll be taken care of.
Yeah.
All right, awesome. As soon as that's addressed, so that's one of the things that's hampering the credit score. You mentioned a medical bill.
Yeah, so it looks like you guys have a small medical bill that at some point took a toll on your credit score. So let me know what happened there. How are you guys hitting this one?
Our daughter broke her collarbone on the 4th of July, 2018. I hate to use the word victim, but we've been the victim of the insurance company and the medical provider fighting back and forth and not paying the bill.
Something is on your credit that is actually between those 2 parties.
Correct.
Yeah. So what's happening there?
Everything, I think, for the most part, is settled, and it should be taken care of in the next month. We can get it.
What does that mean?
Both of them have come to an agreement because we paid our deductible, and so they're coming to an agreement on what they will pay.
Okay.
Because the insurance was trying to get the hospital to lower it.
Got it.
They finally came to an agreement, and now they're getting paid.
Yeah.
As soon as that's paid, we can actually take my credit report and give it to a third party, and they'll take it off my credit altogether.
Yeah, that's called a rapid rescore.
Yeah.
So when you actually have things on your credit and you get it resolved, there's a way to submit it, and within 48 hours have it updated on your credit as if it's just not there anymore, and immediately there's a change to credit scores, numbers, and things like that.
I didn't know it could be that fast. That's interesting.
Most people do it organically, and it takes months.
Sure.
There's actually a way of submitting it and actually paying like $30-50 or something like that, and they basically rush it through and then have the credit bureaus recalibrate and then send it back to you. We do it all the time. The things that you have on your credit, like, this is normal. A lot of people aren't monitoring or checking their credit on a regular basis, and so sometimes things even crop up that you're not aware of. This third one, I don't know if you're aware of it. There was one more thing on the credit.
Yeah, so it looks like, a local fitness joint has you on a collection for something probably very small, which can also cause a problem. So have you guys been able to rectify that, and have you been aware of that?
I was aware of it and then unaware of it as it kind of went by the wayside.
Okay.
And basically what it was is my debit card got reissued, and they kept trying to take the fees. and they never actually sent me a letter.
They just sent it to collections.
They just sent it to collections.
Okay.
So
We didn't know
I think
about
it's
it.
like $200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it, I'll say it made for a really happy conversation between the two of us when we got that information
Did I
back.
have to tell you, my wife has everything on auto pay. Like the loan had adjusted by like $8. And so we were sending in all of the money except for $8.
$8.
And so they sent $8 to collections,
Oh.
hit the credit, slammed it, did the rapid rescore after we solved it, and credit score bounced actually higher than it was before. So listen, here's the thing, here's the takeaway from this. This stuff, this is normal. Like it's just everyday living. It's things that happens, but it needs to be cleaned up for us to be able to use your credit to actually start buying properties.
Yeah, and we're on it.
So it sounds like all of these can be resolved inside of 60 days.
Easily.
All right, Derek, what I want you to do is I want you to work closely with Trent and Esther on each of the 3 items. Make sure that we know exactly once they're resolved, and then let's have our lending team submit it for rapid rescore. Once we get the credit score back, I think even with this, your credit score is even sitting still around like a 680, which by the way is super lendable real estate credit. Like that's super usable. So this is definitely going to move it back in an arena where we can get past this hump and then move forward on actually checking out deals and buying properties.
Sorry, I was
Go
going to say,
ahead.
Chris, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Why would a high credit score, and how would that affect your loan as far as interest rates?
Banks put you in brackets, and if you do a lot of lending with the bank like we do, we're doing over 100 million a year. Those banks will actually give us superior ratings. And what it basically means is if your credit score is between like a 650 and a 680 versus a 680 and a 7 and a 700 and a 720 and a 720 to 780, the bracket will actually help determine how good of a rate you get. So the higher the credit score, the lower the rate. We get superior rates just because of the volume banking that we do. And I gotta tell you, there's a lot of people who get frustrated with credit score, and it feels like this Herculean, like, who do I talk to? How do I track this thing down? So some people let things slide on their credit for years. But when you're ready, usually within 80 days, 60 days, 50 days, it's addressable. You can rapid rescore and then you can move on. And I want to say one more thing though. Let's just say we come back to each other and there's another hiccup and basically the rapid rescore doesn't reflect well. There are ways of buying real estate without credit. I know because every single thing that I buy doesn't use any of my credit. So I will share that with you and show you guys exactly how we do that. So for me, either way, I want us to do it because it's the easiest, cleanest path. But if not, then we have a secondary path and a tertiary and a fifth. So there's always a way to keep moving forward no matter what. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, listen, you guys got your work cut out to you, for the next 60 days, get it fixed, get it cleaned, and then when we get together again, dude, we'll be sitting down and we'll get jamming on properties. Deal?
Sounds
Perfect.
great.
All right, you guys,
All right.
thank you,
Thanks,
appreciate
Chris,
you.
right there.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Yep.
So here's the reality. Navigating the game of real estate for most people is tricky, and it's like being in a maze, a labyrinth, and you get lost and you don't know how to get out. An expert has navigated so many times that they know how. And if you're sitting there thinking, my situation might be simple, maybe it's tricky, but either way, I want to make it through the other side of the labyrinth where the big money is, and I want to demand more of my time freedom and more money, just like Trent and Esther. And if that's you, click the link below and you get a chance to connect with my team about what it looks like to partner with me and have a team of experts like Derek, myself, and a host of others that can help you build a super successful portfolio. Other than that, check out this video that's pinging right here on the left that the internet thinks you're going to enjoy next. And then join us back. Make sure you are a subscriber so you can figure out what happens to Trent and Esther in the next phase of their journey.